Welcome back to Rev It Up. I'm Kaeden Holland. This is Rev It Up Under the Helmet. This is episode 3 of Under the Helmet. I will be interviewing Mason Stockhausen, Cason Harris, as well as Kaeden Bronner. Let's get into Rev It Up now. This edition of Rev It Up is brought to you by the Cresco Speedway. The Cresco Speedway races on June 24th for the first night of the mighty Howard County Fair. They'll race the USRA B mods, the USRA stock cars, as long as with the USRA hobby stocks and the eco mods and the USRA tuners. That is a qualifier for the Blue Ribbon Classic for the USRA hobby stocks and the USRA B mods and the USRA stock cars. June 25th, the Blue Ribbon Classic. The Blue Ribbon Classic features a $2,000 to win for the USRA stock cars. $2,000 to win also for the Carl Chevrolet Premier Late Model Tour. And then September 6th, it's a Labor Day Classic. The Labor Day Classic features the Tri-State Late Models, the best, baddest late models of South Dakota and Iowa, as well as Minnesota, and the USRA Modifieds, and come invade the Cresco Speedway for $1,000 to win. That is all at the fastest track in Northeast Iowa. We'll see you at the races. I'm here with Cason Harris, Mason Stockhausen, and Kaeden Bronner. Mason Stockhausen is from Minnesota City, Minnesota. Kaeden Bronner is from Austin, Minnesota. And Cason, you're from Arkansas, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from in Arkansas?
Arkansas.
Oh, that's where all the Walmart is, isn't it? So, we'll start out with Mason Stockhausen. You picked up a win at the Deer Creek Speedway for your first ever B-Mod win. Was that your first ever B-Mod win?
Yeah, it was. It was pretty uncalled for, but it was the first win.
So, I got a little bit of the story on your car from one of my good buddies, Harley Dice. He was telling me that that's his old car, and he it's pretty much his old setup, and it's his old GRT. And you want to give a little story on the car that you're racing this year?
Yeah, so it is Harley's old car. Last year we had an old Skyrocket. It was really good. You know, in Eco Mods, we went to B Mods. It was just kind of outdated. So mid-season we made that swap to Harley's car, and it's been pretty good.
And Kaeden, you haven't been racing a whole lot around here. We saw you in Mason City a couple times. Where you been racing at this year?
This year, I'm running the Aiming Tour, so I'm kind of just fly out of here and see what tracks are running. And Rock Rapids, Iowa, we're starting down here for points. I'm second down here. I love this track. This whole area down here is really nice.
That's that. You said Rock Rapids. That's what kind of a track is that? If you explain to the people from our area that probably have never been to Rock Rapids, explain like what the track layout is.
Big Cora. It's a very good Cora. It's really fun. It's like really fast. About 20 cars. E-Mod the other night. Really fun racing. We got Dustin Cruz that run through. So very good competition.
And Cason, where do you race? What tracks do you call home?
It's probably my home track, Warm Event. Those are the two like closest to me. I really race everywhere. Really, we just try to hit a bunch of close shows. You know, we'll travel to like into Ohio for races, all kinds of stuff.
Now, you were up there in the national points last year along with Kaeden, weren't you?
Yeah, either last year or the year before then.
Now, Kaeden, you were chasing national points last year for the B-Mod. What goes into chasing national points in the B-Mod ranks? I was interviewing a tuner driver, Perry Kessel, and he was giving me in-depth of what goes into chasing national points for tuners. Can you explain to me what goes into it for chasing B-Mods and how many nights you need to have to win a national point championship for the USRA B-Mods?
So I think it's out of your 24 nights. definitely struggle to get 24 really solid nights. Especially you got Hubden, and a lot of these guys, Doggy, Kidwell, John Keats. I mean, it's hard to beat all those guys that run top two everywhere they go. Uh, it's fun to race with those guys, but, I'm not really going to win it this year because we're struggling a little bit right now, and just hard to figure out the consistency since it's on the jig. It didn't feel like normal last weekend, but we're gonna try a few things tonight and see how it goes tonight, and then we'll see if we go for national this year, run local, and get the tour.
So going back to Mason, Mason, what are your plans for the rest of the year?
We just run Fridays, Saturdays, just try and have good finishes around here before we do any big time stuff, just to get a lot more seat time and just feel more comfortable every night.
And Mason, you were saying that you ran eco mods. You were one of the first drivers in the eco mod division at a very young age up at Mississippi Thunder when they introduced the eco mods, weren't you?
There was about 10 of them the first year, but I was, yeah, mainly the part of the first crew there.
So do you think you were kind of I don't showing them how to run the eco mod division and how to police the division, pushing the gray in it maybe of what you can do and can't do, or do you think that they are setting with the same rules as they have now in the eco mod division?
Mostly just stayed with the same rules, but I think they changed a couple things motor-wise, but nothing really major that sticks out to a lot of people.
I'll ask each of you guys, what are your favorite tracks and what interesting tracks you've been to that a lot of people around here might not have been. Cason, we'll start with you down there in Arkansas. What tracks have you been to that a lot of people around here have not been to that some people down up here need to go down there and visit?
Uh, Definitely Arrowhead is a really nice facility. Um, Tri-State, Polo, Indiana is a very nice place. It's a pretty decent side track, and it's got a wall on the inside and the outside. So it's, and then obviously Lucas, Carolina, it's a big track. It's banked like what was the I can't remember what it is, but it's really banked and it's fast.
How about you, Kaden? What's a track that you've been to that some people around here haven't been? You already touched on Rock Rapids. What are some other tracks you've been to that other people that listening might not have been to?
I'm telling you, that's definitely a top three favorite track. I hope we go back there pretty soon. It's really fast track. Probably one of the fastest ones I've been on, definitely.
Mason, what would you have to call your favorite track?
I would say probably Decorum. It's just really fun, kind of little track. It's up really fast. You have a good car, and it's just always really great.
Kason, what do you run for a chassis?
We're in a huge test.
Jason Hughes, and how does Jason Hughes and Trevor Hughes help you with the Hughes chassis? Do they give you a lot of assistance like Skyrocket gives their local drivers with the assistance to it or and setups and all that?
Yeah, anything we need, we just call them, and they help us out as much as they can.
Would you say that Hughes chassis are the most prominent chassis brand down there?
Um, yeah, probably, but I feel like there's a lot of Allen and Big Hughes coming out there too.
So who are the drivers that you are competing with every week down there for the win? The drivers that you know when you go to the track you're going to have to compete with.
And all the things you can think of, we got John Keith. He doesn't come down to Arrowhead a lot, but we're in the same area. Weekly, I'm with Dalton Ragsdale, Cody King. Um,
So Arrowhead, do they have good pay and stuff too? I know the Arrowhead they with the nice facilities, you think they'd have to have good pay as well.
that's pretty good.
So do you get up to
not normal, you know.
Do you get up to Lucas Oil quite often as well?
I've only been there a handful of times, but it is definitely an interesting track to be at.
So Mason, you mentioned you have the GRT, um, and you mentioned you had the Skyrocket before. What did you race growing up?
I always race slingshots. It's like a little go-kart thing. I raced that for about 7 years, and I always used to race against him. Always be really fun with him.
You said you raced against Kaeden.
Yep.
Did you guys bang any doors, or who would always get the better end there?
It was mostly a flip of the coin. Us two were really the most dominant cars there, but it was always really fun getting raced against him. Just having a good race.
Now, did you race the slingshots at the Deer Creek little track, or was that gone before you got into them?
I raced there for about 2 seasons, and then but that track was really fun to race at.
And Kaeden, what kind of chassis do you race? I'd have to imagine it's a Skyrocket.
Yep, that's the only way around here.
You want to explain why it is a Skyrocket and what goes into a Skyrocket chassis and why is that your pick?
There's so much help there, and adjustments when you figure the car out. You start out at the season, it's really nice. You start come out of the same place. It's really nice to go to work with.
Who I'll start with Cason. Who did you idolize growing up, maybe in your region or nationally?
It's kind of hard to. There's a lot of good people out there. It's hard to really pick. There isn't really anybody big. I don't like my dad growing up. That's the only reason why I ever got into racing is because I'd be there every weekend when I was younger. So watching him is what really got me into it.
Now, for the people that don't know, what did your dad race?
He raced pure stock back in the day.
Now, is that the Power I division?
Yeah, at the time it was the Power and I think NASCAR at the time that he was doing it.
And now, did he explain going to the track back in the day when you were younger? What are your best memories going to the track with your dad?
Just getting to help him out every weekend, and just be there and watch him and taking pictures in Victory Lane. And just really getting to spend time with my family.
Now, Kaeden, I know your dad owned an engine shop up in Lime Springs for a little while. How did you grow up with him building motors, or how does your dad help you in your racing career getting going?
Everything for us. We still build our motors. Top of the line. I can't complain. And yeah, just the shop, watching him do it. It's pretty fun to watch and stuff. I never touch the motor just because I know he's the best, and everything is really specific on how it gets done.
Now, you also had that chassis dyno business. You since sold it, but how does a chassis dyno work for a motor?
Wheels and agency stuff, and get the most horsepower you can out of the car.
No,
The way that you would see on normal dyno.
now I'll send it to you, Mason. Mason, how has your dad helped you in your racing career, or any of your family members, any of you guys?
My dad and grandpa used to race. They used to race modified, and I never really got to experience my dad's races, but he'd take me to the track almost every weekend, and he'd help a lot of other local racers. And I just always enjoyed it ever since then.
Can you tell the people listening what other local racers, if you know any of them, he helped?
He helped Brady Boland, Alex Williamson. Those are really two main guys he traveled along with.
Now, what tracks did your dad race around the area that might since be gone?
He raced all over. He raced Chateau, Trioval, which is old South City. He raced at Cason, Deer Creek. He really raced a lot of the tracks that are around here.
Now, I'll send it back to you, Kaeden. Kaeden, how did you get going in your racing career?
Just being around him and younger, and then two of my buddies got in a slingshot, and I want to say I was probably 12 years old, and I got into that, and I had a lot of fun doing that, and about 2 to 3 years into that, we ended up buying a side by my first car, and that got destroyed, I think, 5 races into the year, and then been kayaking ever since.
Do you remember how you destroyed it?
So Cason came out at Mason City, and a kid behind me didn't have brakes, and he took out the rear end of the car.
And I'll ask a question to you, Mason. Mason, which driver growing up did you idolize?
I was always a really big Brandon Davis fan, just because I'd always hang around his trailer when I was really young. He'd always just be a really nice guy, and he was always a really good racer. He's mainly my main idol.
How about you, Kaeden? So, go ahead.
And one of my dad's buddies from South Carolina is pretty close to him, and he's always just fun to watch. He's a character.
Who's your dad's buddy?
To him.
Who's your dad's buddy from South Carolina?
His last name is Grube. I can't remember his name right now.
Larry Grube, would it be from Cresco? He drove the 29 late model for a while.
Yeah.
I'll send it back to you, Cason. Cason, what events do you look forward to going for the year? Maybe a big event or a small event or a track that you just look forward to going to for the year that might just have 1 or 2 races, or just a big event that you look forward to every year and you put it on your list.
Definitely the Nationals. Getting to see Kaeden and race with them. They haven't. We don't get to race against each other all the time. And then, we hang out down there and have fun and go head to head up there.
How about you, Kaeden? Which events in the season do you look forward to going to the most?
It's really fun hanging out with kids and see how the races we want. It's fun seeing them. I don't get to see them all the time, and just being able to hang out with my friends down there. Can't hang out with them during racing is definitely a lot of fun.
Mason, I'll send it to you now.
I really look forward to a fall jamboree at Deer Creek. It's a big 3-day show, and it's really popular with the D-mods and modifieds. I look forward to that big event.
What's your sales pitch to Cason to try to get him up to the fall jamboree in the fall?
A lot of good cars and fun tracks.
Cason, what's your response to Mason? All right, we'll move on here. What do you guys think about fair races? Do you guys like racing during fairs, or haven't you guys done it too much?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's just a lot of guys from all over come down, and definitely a lot of competition at the races.
Mason, I know you probably been at the Decorah Fair.
Yeah, the fair races are pretty fun. Just sometimes they're tough to get to during the week with parents having work, but when we can make it there, it's always a blast. All the sport.
Cason, what do you think about? Do they do fair races down in Arkansas and Oklahoma in that area?
We have a lot of them.
All right, well, we'll move on then. Kaeden, what do you think about the Cresco track?
It's a pretty fun track. I've only ran it 2 times. Seems like we get rained out every time.
Yeah, that's what they say. I know last night somebody commented there's 3 things guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and rainouts at the Cresco Speedway. But I know we got that $1,000 win B mod show coming up at the Cresco Speedway, and I'm hoping you get a lot of good cars, and we're looking forward to seeing you there, Mason. Hopefully, you can make it.
Yeah, I hope so too. I've never ran there, but I've always heard really good things about it. So I'm hoping to get up there for that race.
All right, for closing, I'll ask you two more questions on here each. What are your goals and aspirations going for the season and the rest of your career? I'll start with Mason.
My goals for this season are just to have, top 5 every night with no damage and hopefully a couple more wins. And lifetime are like my full career goals. They're just to get to a modified and have good competition in that.
Would you like to try to make it to the USMTS someday and maybe go up and down the road, or just be a local guy like, say, a Keith Foss or somebody like that?
Yeah, I'd like to try that USMTS tour. I know it takes a lot of money and a lot of hard work to do it, but I think if you have the right crew, I think anything's possible. So I'd really like to try that.
What about you, Kaeden? What are your goals and aspirations for this season, along with your full career goals?
Try to get top 5 finishes every night, and someday end up running USMTS and just travel around doing that.
Last question for you guys tonight, with it being Dream Weekend here at Eldora. Who's your guys' pick to win the Dream tomorrow night? We'll start with Mason.
I'm thinking Pierce. He's always been really good. He's been really good there. He had to win last night, so I think he's going to win it.
Who do you think is going to win tonight?
Probably Dale McDowell. He's really good.
Kaeden?
On that one.
Well, you can't pick the same guy.
Tyler Davenport.
Tyler Erb for tomorrow and Davenport for tonight, you say?
Yep.
All right. I think for that one, I'm going to go Nick Hoffman for tonight and Nick Hoffman for tomorrow night. He's going to double up. And who's your dark horse? Who do you think is going to be a dream sleeper? Let's start with Kaeden.
Chris Ferguson. Yeah, Chris Ferguson.
Chris Ferguson. What do you guys think about Dallin Murdy? He now is up in Decorah, Iowa, running for Brunings, winning a heat race last night.
He's been pretty good. He's still young, but he's a wheel man.
All right. Well, we thank you guys for joining Rev It Up Under the Helmet. We'll see you hopefully at a local racetrack. You guys want to shout out your sponsors here? We'll start with Kaeden. You want to go through your sponsors for everybody?
Yeah. Kelly Shire, the two boys, John Steve, June. That's pretty much all right now.
Mason, you want to give your sponsors a shout out?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my mom and dad most of all. I'd also like to thank Later Trucking, Muddy Water Saloon, also ABS, Juice Electric, Depth Solution, LT Construction, One Click Solutions, River City Heating and Air, Farmers Insurance Agency, Newman Oil, Grocery, Money Creek Caden, and Joe Pro Voice Raceway.
All right, that includes this edition of Rev It Up, episode 3 for Rev It Up's Under the Helmet. Make sure you tune back in for Monday's results going over the weekend on Rev It Up. You've listened to Rev It Up.